Welcome, everybody. It's Monday again. Thank you for tuning in to Candid Conversations. I am your host, the laid back, down to earth life coach, Aisha Isreal. And
we are the hosts of Candid Conversations.
Hi, I'm Saucy Sunny.
Dawn B.
Aisha Isreal.
Welcome to Candid Conversations.
Girl talk.
Girl talk.
Girl talk.
All girl talk.
Ready for Candid Conversations.
We are ready to get started.
Are you?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Candid Conversation. It is Monday evening at 7 p.m. So I want to thank you. We are having girl talk tonight. So typically we have boss chicks, but today we don't have one. So you get to hear me talk a little longer today. Lucky you. But anyway, okay, so a lot has happened this weekend and today started the fourth quarter for Chicago Public Schools. So a lot of teachers had to return today. A lot of students returned today. I know it was targeted today for high school to reopen or return or whatever. So let me just tell you a quick story. So Maya, my daughter, who's a freshman in high school, I was really sad for her that she wasn't able to start in person, because any of you who are my age know, like, starting high school, that's a big deal. And it's really exciting to go the first year. So she wasn't able to go because of COVID, and they had determined back over the summer that they weren't going to start off in person. And then they had the negotiations and the conversations in October, and then it got extended. Okay, so I believe in February or March, I think March, my daughter came to me and she was like, we have to fill out this survey. They want to know if I'm going to come back for the fourth quarter. So me knowing my daughter is a socialite, busybody, she likes people, she likes to talk and all of that, I'm thinking she's going to want to return. So I asked her, I'm like, so what are we going to do? And she's like, I might as well stay remote. I've been remote all year. So I was shocked. And I'm like, are you sure? But I really think it had to do with her getting up at 7:45 and being at school at 8. I really think she just didn't want the additional time and travel time and all of that. So now, mind you, on Friday, I think it was, no, Thursday, she came to me and she's like, they sent out another survey and they want to know if I'm going to return. I'm like, we already sent out that survey. She's like, yeah, but I want to change my answer, right? Because I guess a lot of her friends decided to go back. So I go to log in to do this survey, and it says it's closed. You can't. So now she has to stay at home for the rest of the semester. So I said all of that to say, I'm sorry, baby, but she's at home for the remote. So anyway, I will say, in addition to that, I took my first COVID test on Tuesday. So I had, as you guys know, I went out of town last weekend to Phoenix, Arizona, and I was so happy that they changed the CDC rating on Phoenix, Arizona for Illinois. So it had been where if you travel to a state that was in the red, then you were automatically, required to quarantine. And then if you go to an orange state, you could either quarantine or take a test 3 days before you return and all of this. So before we got on the plane, it had changed to yellow. So I was exempt from all of that. And I took my test on Tuesday and it was negative. Hopefully you didn't expect anything other than that. But I wanted to say to the people who have taken the vaccine, 1 dose or 2 dose, whatever, I want to, I guess, say thank you for your courage or fear, whatever it is, because some people are taking it out of fear, some people are taking it out of courage, and they have different reasons for doing that. I, for one, have no desire or plan to take the vaccination, and I've discussed my reasons why. But if you so choose to do so, and that's the best option for you, then I commend you for that and thank you, because it's making it just a little bit easier for the rest of us. And I want everybody to know that it's okay, at least it's been from my experience, to go back into the schools, because they are wiping down the bathrooms every time you come out of there. They're, fully supplied with disinfectant and all of that stuff. Trying to think of what else. Trying to give my girl time. Let me see. Imani, are you ready for Shy T? Just thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, so she's about ready. So real quick, I just had a couple more things that I wanted to touch on. So I have mentioned that I'm watching a show called Married at First Sight that apparently I got hooked on when the quarantine first started, because it's not that I had never heard of it, but I never had a desire to watch it. But I watched season 9. I didn't know what season it was at the time, but I watched season 9. And then I started seeing all these comments about the current season. So I had to go find out. It was already at season 12. So I did that. Anyway, it's a lot going on, but I cannot wait. The next on this Thursday is decision day. And let me see, there's 5 couples. I don't know. There's only one couple that I really hope makes it. The other ones, I don't even know what they're doing. But okay, that's enough for my blabbering. It's time for Shy T with Imani.
Trapping. Trapping.
Hey, Imani, how are you today? You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Hi. Still waking up.
How was your weekend?
It was a blast.
It was a blast.
Yes.
Why was it a blast?
Because I went to the Sybaris with my fiance. It was his birthday weekend. So we just had a lot of fun. I'm very, very tired.
That's good. I'm happy for you. Well, that's good. I'm glad you were able to make it.
Yeah. Almost did it. I'm here. I'm up.
I'm sure. All right. So what's up? What tea do you have for us today?
Okay. First, I want to talk about Dr. Dre and his wife, his ex-wife. So they're going through a divorce or whatever. I guess he cheated on her and stuff. But recently in the divorce, she won the divorce settlement of $800 million.
Wow.
Yes. And the judge had the mistress call for the mistress to testify.
The judge?
Yeah, the judge that's doing like their divorce had called for the mistress of Dr. Dre to testify. And the ex-wife was claiming that it was a lot of physical abuse in the marriage. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's true or not, but
well,
it gotta be true if she won the settlement. I can't just see the judge just, throwing.
Well, I mean, that wouldn't be new news for Dr.
Well,
you're young. You don't know.
Era, so yeah. I don't know. But it's a tweet. It's all over Facebook.
Yeah, he's a yeah.
Oh, that's sick. But yeah, so she milking them dry right now.
Well, I have a question. So what did the mistress say?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think she's calling the mistress to testify.
Oh, it hasn't happened yet?
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet. I think she's calling her to.
So how does she get a victory if they haven't called all the witnesses yet?
Yeah, well, on a lot of like hip hop news and stuff like that. Oh, it says Dr. Dre's wife allowed to grill 3 alleged mistresses. So not 1, but 3.
Oh, she grilled them. That's interesting.
3? I'm
just saying that's a lot. She grilled them herself?
Yeah.
That's deep.
Well deserved.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just
is deep.
Yeah.
I want to know what they looked like, what their faces look like.
I never even thought about that in my divorce.
Luckily
mine was a victory for me, but yeah, I didn't like think about calling anybody. I just want to get this over with.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm that type. I'm gonna grill everybody.
Are you?
Yeah. I can't help it. And next I want to talk about Chris Cuomo. Yeah, off CNN. Mm-hmm. He said something that alerted a lot of people in the nation about police reform and Black people and stuff like that, and white people. I want you guys, you would say?
I'll say you gave me a video. Did you want me to play it or you?
I want you guys to listen to this video first, and then I'm gonna say what I need to say.
Okay, so the video is first. I wasn't sure because I'm like, oh, she didn't tell me when to play the video.
You can play it now.
Okay, let's see. There we go. Share audio. I gotta remember to do that. Can you see it? Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Many others. You're here, people. What are you going to do when you see these shootings? You know what you're going to do. At George Floyd. Did you hear about him? At Daunte Wright. Did you hear about him? That 13-year-old Adam. You know he was a gangbanger. Why do that? Because you want to make the problem them. Takes the onus off the idea that you're wrong about policing not needing to change. Forget that police are trained to deal with non-compliance with force that is not lethal. Hey, comply or die. Yeah, I mean. And you know what the answer is? You really do. You don't like it. I don't like it. It scares me. Shootings, gun laws, access to weapons. Oh, I know when they'll change. Your kids start getting killed. White people's kids start getting killed. Smoking that doobie that's actually legal probably in your state now, but they don't know what it was. And then the kid runs and it pop, 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 pop. Cop was justified. Why'd you run? Oh, he had a baseball game tonight. Oh, the white kid. Oh, big family. That house over there. Those start piling up. What is going on with these police? Oh, what? Maybe we shouldn't even have police. That kind of mania, that kind of madness. That'll be you. That'll be the majority because it's your people. See? Now, black people start getting all guns, forming militias, protect themselves. Can't trust deep state. Woo-hoo. You'll see a wave of change in access and accountability. We saw it in the 60s. That's when it changes because that's when it's you. So my job is to show you in them.
Time tracking is fun, said no one ever. That's
So what he said was really, really deep. And it's not something that all of us don't think about, you know, like what if it was them instead of our people? And we say that all the time, like the system is not fair. It's not for us. And it just
So what was the uproar?
It was the police brutality, the police reform. He was talking about police reform and stuff like that.
Okay.
And he was basically saying, well, black people aren't the problem. The police are actually the problem. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, but are you actually adequately trained if you're making split-second decisions and you're not thinking right? You know, like, okay, a person is running, like he said, this person could be coming from baseball practice or anything, you know, but it's a problem when it's our black and brown children. But if it's our white kids, like if the white kids were getting killed left and right, it would definitely be a problem.
It's probably just a problem because he's a white person calling, you know.
Yeah, they probably feel like he's a traitor, and you know.
Yeah, because I don't think there's anything wrong with what he said.
We don't,
unless I'm right, unless I missed something.
No,
but it sounded accurate to me. All right, so did you have anything else before I introduce the girls? No, you're done. Thank you so much, Imani, for your shy tea today. Very interesting. All right, so now it's time to introduce the rest of the girls. I have been on the computer all day today. I guess I'm tired. All right, so first up, Imani. Imani, wave to the people. Imani is our shy tea. Imani from the south side of Chicago. Next up, we have... You want me to come back? Hey, Dawn. Dawn, you're muted. How are you? That's Dawn B, all the way from the south side of Chicago. And last but not least, our guest co-host today, Lisa Tracy from the south suburbs of Chicagoland area. How are you today?
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hello, ladies. Beautiful ladies. How are you all doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm glad to be on the show again. I always have fun to come on.
Yes, and it's so good to have you. All right, so as always, let me tell the audience the rules. So there are 4 women on the panel tonight. Each of us will get an opportunity to answer a question or a scenario. We've kind of taken a break from memes. So ladies, that's just note to self. Yes, we don't have any memes tonight. Well, we do, but you don't want to see them. They're not worth. All right, so each lady gets an opportunity, and when it is their turn, they get to answer the question or respond to the scenario uninterrupted. And then once they are done, the rest of us will chime in, and those of you who are watching from home get to chime in the comments. So we look forward to that. All right, Imani, would you like to go first?
Yes.
All right, what would you like, dear?
Scenario.
A scenario. All right. Yeah. Let's get ready. Here's your scenario.
Yeah. You want me to read it?
I can read it. You need me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay. It says, my daughter recently turned 18, and almost immediately after her birthday, she moved out of our house and in with her boyfriend. My husband and I were not in agreement with this, but she did it anyway. Soon after that, she calls to tell us she and her boyfriend have moved out of state. Next, I found out he was physically abusing her. It took us a week to get her to leave him and get on a plane to return home because he was threatening to commit suicide if she left him. She's been back in our house for 2 weeks, and already I've had to go rescue her from him a couple of times. I'm exhausted. Please help.
Well, I'm going to say this because I have younger sisters and I was a teenage girl too. Sometimes you can't tell nobody something. You know what I mean? You got to let people live their life and find out on their own. Like, I get it's your daughter and stuff like that. All you can do is help her. And sometimes you can't help people that don't want to be helped. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you literally have to just let people live their life.
Okay. Did you want to chime in, Dawn? Nothing to say?
I have nothing for this.
Nothing?
I have that's a real difficult one. She's 18. You know, I'm always down for the tough love, but
yeah.
Sheesh. And it's just like, okay, go let her be a fool. Like, I don't know how you can convince her or until she gets knocked the fuck out. Like, you're going to be knocked out, sis. Like, what?
I hear you. And Lisa, did you want to say something?
No, I'm listening. I didn't hear the entire, because I went in and went out, but I didn't hear the scenario.
Oh, okay. So the recap is a mother and her husband have an 18-year-old daughter who left home like almost immediately after she turned 18, but apparently she moved in with her boyfriend who is abusive. And so the mom is trying to help her in the sense that, I guess like convince her to not go back to this guy.
They moved out of state. She went and got them. She's been back 2 weeks and she has to rescue. She rescued her twice already since she's been back.
Right. So I hear right. Tough love is tough to do sometimes though, when you love somebody. And so, I hear you, Imani. And that probably is the best solution that she's going to have to learn. But the thing is, it's so dangerous that it's not safe and it could end up
in death.
Really, really bad. I was trying not to say that, but it could end up in a detrimental situation. And so you try not to allow your daughter to go back into that. What I can say is, like you said, to be there when she needs the love that she needs, and to be sure and convinced that home is a safe space that she can always come to. And in addition, when she's there, instead of scolding her or yelling at her, try to find out what's going on with her, because that's not something that somebody who I would say in their right mind is choosing to do. Like if you're secure, if you're happy with life, you're not going to go and let somebody beat on you when you have a home to come to that's safe. So, but there are resources, right? And if anybody needs that, they can reach out to me after the show. But for safe places for women to go when they can't get away from their abuser.
Yeah.
But that's serious. So I also would suggest therapy for the daughter. Maybe family therapy as well.
Or get the daddy to whoop the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Then the
So
daughter
the
would be
only
upset
problem,
with
Some brothers or
yeah, the only problem with that is that sometimes dads don't know when to stop when it's their
find
daughter.
somebody who won't, find somebody kind of random to just get out the car while he at the grocery store and beat him up or something. Sometimes that's scam. You know what I mean? Like my brothers don't play, so
Right.
Yep.
And you wonder, does he know? Like, does she have brothers? Well, she has a dad.
right.
Obviously.
I
Does
won't
he
even
know?
tell him nothing. I won't even tell him nothing that's about me. All you know is I got a mom and a dad. That's it.
Right. Okay, Lisa. So now that you know, did you have anything?
Gosh, I've seen, some people that I know personally in that situation, and it's really sad, but you just have to kind of let them grow out of it. I've seen them when they were young in the situations like that, and to the point where family members would go and try to fight the boyfriend and things like that. And you just really just have to understand that, listen, sometimes people will get upset with you if you try to get into the midst of them and their boyfriend that's abusive. So that person, I hate to say it, we may say that they're not in their right mind, but at that point in time, we have to think that they are where they want to be. And you just have to, some people like that drama and all of that fighting and making up to break up and all of that abuse. Some people kind of like that stuff. I hate to say it. I mean, I do believe that you have women who may not like it and find themselves in certain situations, but then you have that small segment of women who kind of gravitate to that jealous boyfriend versus cute to them. And then he becomes possessive, and then that's kind of cute to them, and they like that too. And the next thing you know, he's going upside their head, and they want to stay with that because they believe that they are worthy of that love, and to them, that's love. So, man, you just kind of have to allow them to grow out of that. And in some cases, the couple grows together. I've seen it where the boyfriend stopped beating the girlfriend, and they wound up getting married, and they kind of both grew out of that stage because they were both young. So, I mean, I hate to say it. I'm not suggesting that anybody would stay in that situation, but I've seen, some crazy things. I've seen,
Now, I will say that's rare. I've not seen that or heard of that they grow out of that. Because it seems to me like it's based in something toxic that they've seen for a very long time. Like, I mean, if you grow up in, typically, now there are definitely atypical situations all over the place, but typically if you grow up in a happy home, you don't just one day just beat somebody. You have to have seen it somewhere, or you know what I mean? Like,
well, if you grew up in a happy home, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. If you grow up in a happy home where you don't see someone being mentally and physically abused, and then you gravitate to being mentally and physically abused, what does that mean?
That means you have an anger problem. Like, I know somebody.
So I'm saying
she's talking about the victim.
The victim. If you did not grow up in a home like that, because we always want to kind of put it just on the abuser, and it is their fault. But there are some cases where there are people who women or men who gravitate to being abused. So if you grew up in a happy home and you are the victim and you didn't see that, then what does that mean?
That means you got brainwashed. You love him and you think you just get caught out there. I mean, I've seen that part. That part I've seen happen. Both people did not see abuse. And we turn around, I witnessed, I'm like, what? Like, where did he start hitting women? And why is she still coming around? Like, it was wild. They never outgrew it. They broke up, but it happened. I've seen it. So, I mean, anything can happen. It's just, I don't know.
I think it's what we consider like it's a I don't want to say extreme. It's an unhealthy demonstration of love on both parts. I think for the person, the victim, the person who's being abused, they believe that that person is showing them love, and maybe they didn't receive a certain, maybe they think, that boyfriend being possessive and jealous is love to them. And maybe, even though they may not have seen, and they like it, they gravitate to that. And the person who's doing the abuse, they think that's love. I mean, it's both are distorted. I would say perceptions.
I know women that like to get snatched up, like
they think
they like it,
or they think it's cute. Like, oh, he's a little.
I mean, yeah, I've seen
women like their boyfriends. I've seen women like that their boyfriends get jealous. They'll say in front of him, "Oh, this guy tried to talk to me to get a reaction out of him." That's crazy to me. Why would you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy.
You don't play fire with fire.
It's a bar fight. Now we got a bar fight. Everybody in the club got
looked at me. Not
a home fight.
Okay, look, you guys may not be able to hear, but on my end, I'm hearing like an annoying beeping sound. So I'm going to ask Lisa what she wants to do, and then I'm going to excuse myself for a moment while I get rid of this, because I'm not going to be able to focus. It's really annoying.
You need some batteries in your No, I'm just playing. We don't.
No, I think my daughter's alarm is going off in her room, and she's not here. So,
okay.
All right. So, what would you like?
We got a question and a scenario, right?
Is it your turn? It's Dawn's turn.
It's Dawn's turn. Okay.
I'm sorry, I did that before where I went out of order. I'm sorry. I go in a clock. I try to go in a clock, like a circle instead of zigzag. So Dawn, what would you like?
And shout out to Trish Franklin and Patrick Shepard. They on the comment side over there.
Yes, thank you.
What was that? A scenario?
Mm-hmm. That was a scenario. Yeah.
A question.
A question. All right. Let's see what we have.
Lady,
go ahead.
You get to an event and there are two other ladies in the same dress as you. What do you do? I go home. Okay. This is hilarious because, I think I would do one of two things. It depends on how big the event was. If it was over 500 people, I would stay. But if it was a very much social distance private event and two hoes had on the same clothes, it's not who wore it better. That is not a who wore it better night for me. No, ma'am. I'm keeping my jacket on. Hopefully, I got a very fashionable lightweight jacket on because I'm rocking that boy. I'm not saying.
You would not go home. I mean, you will go home.
What did I miss?
If I got to an event and it was hoes in the same clothes, two other women in the same dress I have on. If it's an event of 500 or more, I'ma stay. But if it's a very small private event and I can see them, it's COVID. Hell no, I'm going home. I'll be back because I got another dress.
Yes. So that's what I walked in on. So I heard you say something about it's not a who wore it better situation.
No, and you know what? And to my defense, though, that's why I don't get the I don't shop certain places for certain events.
Mm-hmm.
You don't shop at rave. You sure you're not going to rave when you?
What is rave?
Did you say rave?
Yes.
Oh my!
From back in the day, was that like a teeny bopper store? I'm trying to remember.
Rave was our Forever 21.
Oh, okay. I'm like, it sounds familiar. I'm trying to remember.
What is that?
Riot Imani, no. She's like, I don't know what these old ladies are talking about.
Forever 21.
It was our Forever 21.
It was like Forever 21.
No, it was our.
I think it's more like Rainbow.
It was like Rainbow. It was on the cheap side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was our Rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
That was back when we were making $4.25 an hour, if that much.
Oh my God, rave! Oh my God. But exactly, I'm not going to your standard place to get a event outfit.
Right.
Yes.
So like for New Year's Eve or something like that, you're not going to.
Yeah, guys, I pushed it last New Year's Eve because I got me a cute little dress on Fashion Nova.
I love Fashion Nova.
I know you do because that is for the girls, the young girls.
I probably can't fit nothing on there.
Oh no! Look,
Really pushing it, don't we? Because
and
honestly, somebody could have really had your outfit on.
they got
I said I was pushing it. I ran it. I did, but I'm gonna say it. I knew what kind of event there, and I knew they wouldn't be dressed like because I had just I was fit, honey, and I knew.
period.
Okay, cool.
Tea.
Very interesting.
I don't think I would leave. I wouldn't leave. Matter of fact, I would probably go to the girl and be like, "Hey," I'm just thinking of my younger days because I think I probably have run into someone that may have had my outfit on or shoes on or something like that, and I would probably be like, "Hey, we got on the same outfit," and that's it. And you rocking that, all right, and then.
So the question was like, is 3 people in the same place with the same dress?
It's a total of 3.
Oh, it's a total of 3. Oh, okay. Let me think about that then. Wait.
You know what? It depends on so much. It depends. I mean, if it is the party fun. I mean, like if I'm having a good time, I might just have to suck it up. And if I spend a whole lot of money on it, we just gonna have to ride this out, enjoy it, and just make sure you stay on the other side of the room.
And if it's New Year's Eve, right? Because if it's New Year's, you're not going back home. You paid a lot of money for this event.
Right.
But I probably got
and in Chicago, your parking is going to be gone.
I got another dress in my bag on New Year's Eve because I'm staying at the hotel. So I got another dress. I'm a Libra. I will pack a couple different.
I was going to say, I usually purchase more than one outfit for New Year's Eve. I had 3, I think. Not this past because this was COVID, but the year before that, I had 3. I had like a purple one shoulder thing, and then I had a black dress with rhinestone. Oh, right, we were at the same party. Yeah, so and we had our kids in the suite, and so my daughter was like, "No, wear this one, mommy." So I'm glad she did. I didn't see anybody with the black dress on, but it was a lot of black dresses.
Oh yeah, I had on a black dress, but they was old. You think, Imani, you think we old?
I don't think y'all.
Right.
We was the youngins at the party. At that party, we was talking about. You want to be the new hot chick? Go to that party.
You can't even imagine. Look at Imani's face. Like, you guys were the young ones. She wasn't stepping nowhere near that party.
Imani, what about you? What's your answer? You're the youngest. What would you do?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Now, if they looking real good and I got the same dress as me, I'm going home to change so I can look better. But if they don't look all that good in the dresses, then I'm gonna feel like the party all about me. I'm gonna keep my dress on. It depends on how they looking in the dress.
So you down for the who wore it better?
Who wore it better? Because it better be me.
Got it. Okay. Or are you changing?
Or I'm changing.
I understand. I get it.
Got it.
All right.
I know that's not kind of me.
I don't think it's mean. I think you need to, if you're going out and you're spending money, I think you need to be happy. So whatever you chose,
me when I step through the room. So
exactly.
I agree.
All right, Lisa Tracy, it is your turn.
All right, I'm gonna take a scenario.
I need Dawn to do her little bit. What's the scenario?
What's the scenario?
All right, so it says you go and visit an elderly uncle through marriage who is on his deathbed. While you are sympathetically and lovingly holding his hand, he reaches up with his other hand and tries to grab your breast. You politely take his hand and bring it back down to his side. Do you tell anybody about this?
What the hell?
That's some freaky mess. That's real freaky.
This is about a wheel. He gonna give me some money. Girl, I'm mad. Oh my God. Let me think about that. He's married, right?
Well, no, it's your uncle through marriage. So I'm guessing it's your husband's uncle.
Oh my God. Girl, he on his deathbed. Girl, no.
I know what I would do.
I'm not trying to ruin nobody's fan. No, this is the thing. He could be not in his right mind. He could be on morphine. He could be on anything. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
He could have Alzheimer's. It could be anything.
That don't make you a freak. That don't make them go crazy like that.
If he ain't got none of that, the unk is a creep and a freak.
I'm gonna tell you this.
He ain't got none of that. If he doesn't have Alzheimer's, and if he ain't on nothing that is, taking him out of here, then okay, I agree with you. He a freak. But who am I tell his wife?
I'm telling the whole family, unk is a creep.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say this.
No, G.
Patrick said he got dementia.
Right. If he don't have dementia, he gonna act like he got dementia.
No dementia.
I'm not gonna have to tell anybody because I'm gonna bust his ass out right there.
Smack him up on that deathbed.
I'm like, y'all been fucking you down, I'll kill you.
You gonna say that?
Enough if you can do all that.
Wait. So look, because I was gonna tell Melissa, I was like, girl, if you say Alzheimer's one more time, but look, he said he got some timers. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to think. Let's see if that happens.
I'm gonna bust him out. I'm going to bust him out. I might not be all super mad. I might, depending on how I feel, it might be a situation.
I agree. Like I agree with Dawn. Like she is like, oh, did you just try to feel my breast? Oh,
yeah.
He touched my titty. He touched my titty.
Yeah. I think for me, I would do what this person did, put the hand down, and I would have to back away, and my husband would definitely know. I don't know that I would be screaming and be like, "Oh my God, no, you didn't!"
Yeah, no, I wouldn't scream.
This is not necessary. I've gotten filled up by men at the club on accident, but just how you be going past men and
that's not an accident.
That ain't no accident.
Baby, they doing that on purpose.
Right. Trying to act like they touching your back.
Yeah, trying to get out the way. No, they
I am a buster outer though. I'll bust you out.
I'm telling everybody he's a titty toucher. Sorry.
I'm probably just I don't know about everybody, but I'm definitely telling my husband, and I'm probably not going back. I'd be like, nah, that's okay. I'm gonna rock.
I see at the
if this is not something that is his normal behavior, then I'm gonna think something wrong. That's what I'm going to think. If this is not,
you tried it. How long you been trying to do that?
Okay, he didn't have the courage on his deathbed.
You're waiting until people thought you were crazy.
Yeah, he got balls.
But I'm dying, Niecy.
Look, I love my grandma, but I'm gonna tell you, I shouldn't even say this on air, but when people are going through dementia, I don't know if you've ever dealt with somebody who has gone through dementia. I've never heard my grandmother cuss a day in her life, as long as I've known her, baby. Yeah. And she was going through dementia, and baby, I'm just leave it there. So what I'm saying is,
a lot.
It's possible. I'm not like removing that, and then she thought we was her sister. She would be calling us sister. She thought we were her sisters. She would call us mom. So this is not something that they would normally do in their right frame of mind. Then I may let that slide. You know what I mean?
I would say, well, we talk about the auntie grabbing the breast. What about if the auntie try to grab, a man
other parts
balls or something? Then what? Like, is he gonna say, "Oh, auntie tried to grab my balls"? Like, I would say something. Uncle Freak tried to grab my.
I would say something. I just don't think
y'all at the funeral.
I don't know that I'm
you
sure.
Want an obituary? Yeah, you want an obituary?
That might be one of the funny stories you tell during the remarks.
Exactly. That's what I
tried to touch my titty on his deathbed. It was all cool though.
Yeah, crazy. All right.
Got felt up, but I mean, what can you do?
That's funny. So that was your turn, Lisa.
Yes.
Okay.
That was funny.
Yes.
I just knew he was gonna leave me some money and people were gonna be mad.
Okay.
Like I was a niece.
Patrick said he thought he was a baby again. He giving him the
kind of nerve.
Right. Excuses. All right. I'm going to do a question. So let's see what we have here. All right. If a guy takes you on a trip, does it automatically mean you have to have sex with him?
Yes. No, I'm just playing.
Absolutely not.
I believe this is my question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll wait.
I know, right? So, I don't think anything is automatic. However, I just think, okay, so if a guy is taking you on a trip, that's not a conversation you're having. And so are you saying that you're not already having sex? I mean, like what?
Yeah.
Let me just say this.
I mean,
I just want to say this. I've had this conversation before, many of times with many different guys.
Patrick.
And in their mind, I'm going to be real. In their mind, they think if they take you out of town, that automatically means that they're going to sleep with you. It doesn't matter if you're not. You could be having sex with them in town, or you might not be having sex with them. But they think if they fly you in town to see them, they think if y'all go on the trip, in their mind, they automatically think this comes with the territory. So what I just do is just pay for my own trip. We ain't even got to go there. So now what?
Well, I do know when during my first marriage, we had our renewal of vows in Jamaica, and we stayed in the grill at the Sandals out there, and there was a couple out there. I mean, they were at everything. I mean, they were at, you know how resorts, all-inclusive resorts have like your karaoke night, they have, you know, all these different things, and they were like at everything. And I was like, oh wow, they're a cute couple. And then one time I was talking to the girl alone, and she made mention of the fact that they weren't a couple and they weren't having sex. Oh, because I think the guy had said something to my first husband about, you know, anticipation. Okay. And so we were together when we were talking to the girl, and she's like, we're not having sex. And so it just seemed kind of odd because
they were romantic getaway.
They didn't seem like they weren't having sex. And I know, you know what I mean? They were like really romantic, lovey-dovey, you know, public displays of affection. So I'm like, I felt like if they didn't have the conversation, I felt like she was leading him on. It just didn't seem kosher.
That's how much his tab was. A few hugs and kisses. That's it.
Okay, I feel like
what'd you say? I mean, Patrick said she's lying.
He said how far was the trip?
I mean, and I don't know. I wasn't in the bedroom, but she was like, "We're not having sex." No, and she wasn't lying because he looked embarrassed when my husband at the time said something about it. Like she said, they're not having. Oh, I'm sorry. Because this was a long time ago, y'all. This was 2010. Okay, so I remember now we were playing something like the Newlywed Game, and one of the questions was something about nookie when you get back to the room or whatever. And so, you know, when they ask the girls, the men are not around. So she made mention of we not having sex. And so when the guys came back and they asked the guy to answer, he said something, you know, trying to sound like he was all cool. And the guy, the MC was like, well, she said y'all not having sex. And he looked so embarrassed. Like he was, you know.
Now he lied. Yeah. He lied.
Right. So I was like, oh wow, that was embarrassing. Because it was just couples everywhere. And I don't think that you have to have sex automatically, but I think that okay, if you are a wise person, you got to know that he might be thinking that. So either, like she said, pay for your own trip, have the conversation, or just don't go. Like why put yourself in a situation that's gonna,
because even if you pay for your own trip, that's still expected. You up in this room, you in a romantic getaway. Honey, I'm just telling you, the tab is, this is the deal, hugs and kisses outside. That's it.
Oh, you saying that's the deal. But okay, cool. If that's, but have the conversation first. I just don't think it's right to not have the conversation. But I've only been on romantic trips with somebody I was married with that I can recall. Let me think.
Well, I'm going to do so many activities. I'm going to wear his ass out. He's not going to be thinking about that when we...
Wear him out. Okay, then.
I'm like, we're going to parasailing, jet skiing. We're going to walk this whole island and we're going to swim, snorkel.
You're doing everything.
All of the liquor.
You funny. All right.
I'm fronting too. I'm also fronting.
It's on you, baby.
I want to say something before I choose my thing. I think that people just got to get out the mindset of expecting something when you do something for someone.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? If it's not genuine, like, well, I can't lie. Every time I take my fiance out to dinner, I do expect to tap that at the end of the night. But that's, that's
you're in a
yeah, but you don't give it up, especially when I pay. That's just what I expect. But I feel like
your man. You guys are getting
but before
married.
people got it in an understanding, you shouldn't be expecting something because you're doing something for her. You want to fly her out. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody forcing you. So you should
force you to flew out.
Something. I just don't like that. Like, you do this for me, I got to give up some cookies. Like, no, because I ain't tell you to do this. And I'm the type of person, I'll book my own hotel room. I'll book my own flight. Like, you ain't got to have no ties to now you ain't getting a flight back home because you ain't giving me none. Like, no, I ain't dealing with none of that.
Right. Don't put yourself in a
yeah,
And I agree with Imani. She did say it was not genuine, and the expectations. If you're not talking about it, even if you're talking about it, what are your intentions? Because I'm telling you, I know guys who specifically are not having sex with a girl at home, but believe that if they take her out of town on vacation, that means that he'll have sex with her. And just the thought process behind that is just idiotic to me.
So what are their names? I'm curious.
You said what are their names, those guys? But here's the thing, though. Why do you want to? And tell me. So those of you who have been, single longer than I have, why do you want to travel? Why would you want to go on a romantic trip with a guy that you're not interested in romantically? Like, why?
Because I want to go out.
Don't. But maybe, women feel like, okay, well, he offering, so I'm gonna take it.
And I'm bored. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm gonna go. Like, what female gonna turn down a free trip?
Just like a female may not turn down a free dinner
or free dinner.
I'm just asking a question. That's not my MO. So I mean, like if I want to go and just have fun, I'm going with my girls. Men are already a lot of work and a lot of time. So if I'm going to be free and I want to enjoy myself, I'm going with my girls. I'm not going with no guy, especially if we're not in a relationship and I'm not obligated to him in any way. He's gonna be like a burden, a weight.
It's just the wrong impression.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
It's just the wrong impression kind of to him. But I feel like you got to be clear from the jump. Like, I'm bluntly honest. You're not getting nothing from me. I don't care how much.
You might change your mind. I mean,
maybe she might get a few drinks and not feeling a little saucy. You never know.
And then if you're getting a little drinks in her and then change her mind, then she might regret that after she comes up.
Don't drink then.
I'm just saying, it's a possibility.
It's about taking accountability for your own actions.
I'm going. Period.
There you go.
I'm going. That's a risk I'm willing to take. And
touch me, you just get a hug and a kiss.
And I'm
but Dawn is also way grown. I mean, maybe younger women. Maybe
you leave me here, bro. Bruh. How they say it? Bruh. You gonna leave me? Let's have fun while we out here.
I'm gonna find some Islanders. I'm gonna act like I'm not with them anyway.
Oh, right. That's a good question.
Right.
If he books, he says, so what kind of room?
He booking one single room. He booking one bed. He can book two beds.
I don't even have an answer.
He's booking one room.
We're booking one room, but we got two beds.
No, he booking one bed. I'm gonna say it like this: if I was a man and I was trying to this is me, I would definitely book one bed. So I know he's booking one bed. If I'm trying to get me some, I'm trying to flag.
But you know what? I mean, if you've shown any type of reservation, they could book a room with two beds in it. That don't mean nothing.
One bed is gonna be the boom boom room. One bed tonight.
You only use one bed.
One bed.
Just because there's two beds in the room.
Two beds for an option, just in case you don't want to sleep with me, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so Imani, you can go ahead. We drug that one through the dirt.
What is it again? A scenario?
Just a scenario or a question today?
Question.
All right. Okay.
This is good.
I just talked about this.
Did you? Because you're getting ready to get married?
Yeah.
All right.
We talked about this last week.
Did we?
I don't know. Let's do it again since we can't remember.
But I just
I don't remember. Okay. In a marriage, do you prefer separate accounts or joint?
So, me and my fiance recently just had this conversation, and I let him know through the door. We're gonna have a joint account and separate accounts. We're gonna do both because I like to have my own money too, but I like to spend your money too. And
Be she honest.
yeah, you know I gotta wear my wigs, and that ain't coming out my pocket. So
Yeah, yours is mine. What's yours is mine.
Yeah, but what's mine is mine too. But I spoil them and all that. But yeah, we gotta have our separate accounts and that one joint account.
Yeah, for the bills.
Yeah, because I'm a strong believer, and you always gotta have something to fall back on. You know, your husband can leave you today or tomorrow. You don't want to just be completely broke. My mom always told me that. You always need something to stand back on. And I got my baby. We got a baby too. So gotta have a backup just in case.
Yeah.
And then I'll be lying about how much money I got. So
okay, so I don't do that, but I do. I agree with you and Jessica. She said they have both and it works well for them. So yeah, we have not really gotten around to joining any accounts, but I'm not opposed to it. It's just that I don't know, we're just so already in motion. But we communicate, our bills get paid, you know what I mean? And we just don't have any issues with that. If I need money, he'll quick pay me. If if he needs to cover something, I'll quick pay him. It's not a big deal.
Well,
that's good.
That's dope. Well, what we did, I had an account and we had a joint account, but the joint account was really my account.
Smart.
Like he just put stuff in that account for like the kids because he was the man of the house. He took care of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Except the cable bill because he was like, I don't watch it. If you want it, you pay it. I'm like, deal. But yeah, I say have both too.
Yeah. Now that we're thinking about it, I think my situation is just interesting. Because there's nothing specific that I guess what you're saying is kind of like how our situation is. So he'll just quick pay me the money. You know what I mean? So
and that's where it went into that joint account because
the account that I had before we were married. It's just that we both have the same bank, and so it's easy to just transfer money over and then so this is what we do. So we have separate accounts, but I have it set up so that all of the notifications go to our joint email. So that way, he knows what bill, because it'll say like this bill got paid, or if anything happens, it just the communication part is there.
I think so I haven't been married, but my parents, I know I saw them where they still have a joint account and then they each have their own separate accounts. And then I do know one of my friends that they just have one account. They don't have separate accounts at all. So they'll call each other before they make major purchases and decisions.
That was my parents. My parents had one bank account.
Yeah.
Well, for a while, because when my dad passed away, we had 3 different banks. That dude was just stashing money.
But I have a friend like that too. Yeah. What'd you say, Don?
But the bulk of it was in that one account that they had.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up. My mom is an accountant by profession. Yeah, and so she just always handled the money. But my parents used to have. I mean, when I talk to other people, I guess it's rare or weird. But my parents used to have like regular business meetings. You know what I mean, to discuss what was going on in the account.
That's what we were supposed to do. Growing up, we didn't do. Now I'm divorced.
Well, I mean, so Imani because Imani, Nisi said that they have a joint account. That to me seems real. I mean, if it works for a couple, I think that's great. I have no, opposition to that. But for me, I feel like if I have to call about every purchase, that's gonna feel kind of tight. I feel like I can't move.
Control thing.
Well, I don't think it's controlling if that's
Like,
if that's their understanding.
I want to make a purchase about something, you know what I mean? I want to be able to have free reign and just swipe.
Or if somebody's calling me and be like, "What'd you just spend $52 on?"
Right.
What?
These nuts. Get off my phone.
I told you I accidentally left my Amazon cart up on the computer. He's like, "Don't you have enough stuff for your trip?"
Yeah, that's it. And cut.
All right, I'm sorry. Whose turn is it?
Dawn.
Scenario. What? So,
You may get the uncle feeling on your titty, so
That's funny.
Yeah.
We did 2 scenarios tonight.
Mhm.
Because from where I am, they're so tiny. Okay. All right.
I'm not good at speaking up for myself. I am in a dead relationship with a guy who adores me and is the nicest, most normal person I have ever been with. But we have nothing in common, and it's gotten to the stage where we don't talk, don't have any intimacy, etc. And I want out nicely. I don't want to go back and try to work it out because it was never right. I just didn't know how to say no right at the start. What is the best thing to say? Exactly what you just wrote, sis. Except my I don't know. You can leave out that we don't have nothing in common. This stage, this is just whack as hell. You could just say it feels like
I'm sorry. You need to still back.
Really good friends. That sounds like a great friendship right there. Like with like a not a just a like that sounds like your homeboy. Cause y'all ain't doing nothing but just like kicking it.
I just want to know was it there at one point? Because if so, why was it lost?
I know how that goes. I've done that before.
Well, she said it wasn't right from the start. So
yeah. She just thought he was super nice. Like, okay, you know what? This is what I need in my life. And you try it and you're like, oh my God, this is so not what I need. I need to get yoked up every now and again. No, I'm just
it does sound like she's bored. So I don't even know if I would call it a friend, because a friend you could talk to. She said they don't even talk. They don't talk. They don't have intimacy. They don't have anything in common. So
at this point, she could probably leave and he won't even say shit because he's too nice.
Not one of those I'm going to the store and never come back. Terrible. But I agree with you, Dawn. She should say exactly what she just said.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, like, you know what? You are the nicest, most normal person I've ever met. I have nothing against you. We don't have anything, no bad blood between us, but there's no intimacy, there's no chemistry, there's no passion. I mean, who wants to be in a relationship where that's missing?
That sounds like a marriage 20 years later.
Not even. My parents still had passion till the day my daddy died. So I don't know. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm not looking forward to any type of like, just because we can't.
I get it. Yeah. I mean, I agree with what Dawn said. I mean, I don't know. I guess she has to ask herself, what is she looking for? Because is it some type of fantasy? What'd you say, Dawn? Oh, she don't.
I think she's.
Is it some type of fantasy that she's looking for? That's what I would want to know. Like, is she not being realistic? And then she'll come to her senses 10 years later. I mean, if she feels that way and she can't give him what he needs and she's not getting out of it what she needs, then yeah, I think the best solution would be to, move out of it.
What'd you say, Dawn?
Yeah, the best solution would be to Dear John his ass. Yeah. She didn't have to see his face.
Put an ad in the paper. Y'all remember that song? Put an ad in the paper. Dun, 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 dun. You remember that song? If you like pina coladas, you don't remember that?
You and Sunset, I'm gonna get you and Sunset together because Sunset mentioned the same song, and I'm like, I know the chorus, but I don't know nothing.
Really?
On Friday,
And
now.
what happened was they went to the bar. Both of them she answered the ad, didn't know her boyfriend put an ad in the paper because he was bored in their relationship. So he put an ad in the paper. He was like, if you like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain, blah, 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 blah. And so she answered it, and they both met at this bar. And when they saw each other, they cracked up, didn't even know that they had these interests. So hello.
That, you know what? Okay, off topic, but on topic as far as relationships go. So, okay, I already said that I've been watching Married at First Sight. And so here's the situation. Because we were in COVID and I started watching season 9 and I got hooked. Then I started watching season 12 because I started seeing people. Is it time to go already?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sorry, y'all. This is a conversation I have to just have with my girls. Let me close.
Say it real quick.
Yes. Huh?
I said, say it real quick. Go.
Oh, okay. So there's a couple on season 11 because I got all the way to the end of season 12 except for this last one. So I'm like, well, I got to watch something. So I started watching season 11, and there's a couple on there that's like that. So, you know, they have matchmakers that put them together and they meet at the altar. And so everybody's nervous or whatever. And she comes around the corner to go down the aisle, and she just starts cracking up, and she whispers to her mom because her mom is walking her down the aisle. She's like, I've met him before. And then when they get to the altar, the officiant is saying, like, you met for the first time. He's like, not the first time. But what's so cute about it is that he noticed her in different situations, like in, you know, places they had met before. She didn't remember all those times. I was like, oh, he was checking her out.
Well, he was stalking.
He wasn't stalking her, but he was checking her out. He noticed her in all those places that she was showing up. But anyway, okay. Yes. Let me close, y'all.
Go.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to Candid Conversations. This is your host, Aisha Isreal, the laid back, down to earth life coach. You know, as always, I want you to not sell yourself short. And remember to know and embrace true love because you are worth it. I also want to tell you that next week we have attorney and entrepreneur Sauda Johnson in the Boss Chick slot. And I want to thank Lisa Tracy for coming on again. I think she's fabulous. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and have a blessed week. Good night.